Hey, all, and welcome to this week's episode of the Mike Balloon Podcast. Thanks for joining me as always. Oh, hot day today in England, which is really, it's a different than a hot day in the U.S. Like hot days in the U.S., most of the time you're in your house and you're in air conditioning. So there's really never a hot day. You can avoid it, but England really hasn't caught on to the air conditioning revolution still. So when it's hot here, it's hot inside, it's hot outside. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. Closing in on episode 100. I think I'm like 2 away. So 2 away, I think it is. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining me. Anyway, today I just want to kind of jump right into it. It was funny. I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine the other day. I liked the movie. Enjoyed it. It's pretty fun. But anyway, there was a coming attractions for a movie, the Wild Robot movie by DreamWorks. And the big tagline in it is that sometimes, we need to become more than we are programmed for. And it's about this robot on this planet and sort of adapting to this planet and all that. Looks really good. That kind of pulls at the heartstrings. Anyway, I've talked about this a lot kind of in different ways in my podcast, that to become more of being able to live a better life is that you've got to either unwind some poor programs, some poor behaviors, thought patterns to get better, or you have to just look to keep growing and growing. And so that's today kind of what I want to talk about is because to me, it's a profound statement that, to survive, we need to become more than we are programmed. Again, because it really does carry a deep understanding of human potential and the limitations we impose upon ourselves. But what does it mean to transcend our programming? And how can we apply this concept to our daily lives? Our programming, refers to this like deeply ingrained beliefs, habits, and patterns that shape our actions and reactions. Everything that was kind of formed since the day we entered this world. Every day we take in information, we categorize that information, and sometimes it helps us and a lot of times it hinders us, right? I mean, these can stem from our upbringing, our culture, our personal experiences, or societal expectations, which is a big one. While these elements can often provide structure for us and a sense of identity, they can also become, barriers to our growth and our adaptation, in life. Consider an individual who's always been told they're not creative, right? This belief repeated over time becomes part of their programming. They just believe they're not creative. I think I talked about this one point in my life where I had an art teacher telling me, listen, you got to drop my class, you can't draw. And for years, I just thought I can't draw. I'm still not a great drawer, but I don't believe that I can't draw. I just, I'm not bad at it. But for the longest time, somebody said, can you draw? And I'd be like, no, I can't draw. And it took me a long time to realize, where does that even come from? I remember an art teacher told me that. And I was very young, and I just kind of onboarded that, right? And the thing is, again, so if somebody's, repeatedly told over time, it just becomes part of their programming. And, when faced with a situation requiring creativity, let's just keep using that, like myself, might shy away, convinced I wasn't up to the task. And this is where that concept of, survival transcends the physical realm and enters the psychological. See, we're living in this rapidly changing world, and survival often hinges on adaptability and growth beyond our perceived limitations. So in order to transcend our program, it's not just about rejecting our past or denying our experiences. Instead, it's about recognizing when our internal scripts no longer serve us and we choose to rewrite them, right? And this is a process that really does require courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to really step into the unknown. Self-awareness is a big part. I mean, self-awareness is the first step in acknowledging the existence of our programming, reflecting on our beliefs, our habits, and our fears. Where did they come from? How do they limit us? I've talked about this countless times in the past. This kind of introspection is crucial for identifying the areas in your life where you need to grow. As Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Understanding how the subconscious drives our behavior is the first step towards changing our lives. And because of this, and when you start doing that, you're going to start challenging your limits. Like once you've identified these areas and you're actively challenging them, If you believe you're not good at public speaking, for instance, take opportunities and speak in front of others. This doesn't mean jumping into a deep and immediately, going for the large TED talk. Start small, build confidence, gradually expand your comfort zone. Again, a lot of this is about, improving your life is about getting out of your comfort zone. You don't realize how much your life is keeping you in one place because you're too scared to move from that. It was the famous psychologist, Carol Dweck. She emphasized the importance of this process of, moving out of your comfort zone. And again, having what's called a growth mindset. I've talked about this as well. And her studies show that people who believe that their abilities can be developed through hard work, good strategies, and input from others are more likely to achieve than those with a fixed mindset who believe their talents are just innate and unchangeable, right? So you got to embrace the idea that the abilities and your intelligence can be developed. You don't have to stay where you're at. You got to adapt a growth mindset. This mindset shift is critical to improving your life. When you believe that you can grow and improve, you're more likely to embrace challenges, persistent in the face of setbacks, and see effort as a path towards mastery. Albert Einstein once said, "I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious." Incredible. I am only passionately curious. His words remind us that curiosity and the willingness to learn can drive our profound personal growth. And another thing in life, people, pay attention to who you surround yourself with. There was what's his name? You know his name if you've been listening to my podcast for a while. He was actually Tony Robbins' mentor. And oh gosh, it slips me right now. But anyway, he always talked about you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if you don't surround yourself with supportive people, you surround yourself with people who want to sit around, do nothing all day, sit there and blame other people for their situation, blame, politics, jobs, bosses, girlfriends, wives, relationships, you're going to fall into the same category. So if you really want to evolve, this means surrounding yourself with supportive people who encourage your growth. See, a lot of times when you want to grow and you want to step out of your comfort zone and do something else, you scare the people you're with because they're too scared to do it. So they want to hold you back. They want to hold you back. You want to leave that small town for a bigger city, and they're all going to tell you, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. Why would you leave your family? You're not being a good son. I can't believe you're doing this. What do you think? You're better than us," and all of that, because they're too scared to do it. Whereas people should say, "Hey, if that's your dream and that's what you want to do, yeah, man, go for it. Take a shot. You can always come back." Find mentors, find coaches, find supportive friends who can provide guidance, encouragement, and perspective. Additionally, seek out resources if you have to. Listen to my podcast. Share my podcast with somebody who might need it. There's tons of books, courses, workshops, TikTok videos. Don't spend so much time mindlessly scrolling, but you know what I mean? That can help you develop the skills and the mindset you need to transcend your programming. There's research that supports that the value of a strong support network. There was a study, what was it in? It was the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found that social support can significantly enhance individuals' ability to cope with stress and pursue and achieve personal goals. Now think about it. How many times in your life have you seen a good group of friends or a good group of people who work together, support each other there, and they all seem to kind of be successful in their own right? And you look at that and you go, wow. But again, you are the sum total of your 5 closest people you surround yourself. You surround yourself with people who are successful, you're probably going to be successful. You want to lose weight. Don't surround yourself with 5 people who just want to go eat all the time and have unhealthy habits. You got to choose the right people you're around. It is going to make the world of a difference. And for some people, go back and listen to my podcast, Moving from Lamb to Lion. It's a very hard thing to go about it yourself, because the minute you decide to kind of go on your own trail, everybody's going to want to come at you. Your family might attack you. Your friends might attack you. Everybody, because you've decided you want to live your life your way, a way that makes you happy, that makes you feel aligned and satisfied. But you got to do it. And when you start doing this, celebrate your progress. Recognize and celebrate any small progress you've made. Transcending deeply ingrained beliefs and habits, it's challenging work. And every step forward, it's a victory. It might be small steps, but it's a victory. And celebrate. I no longer believe in this. You know what? All this, for years, I thought I couldn't public speak, but look, now I'm doing it in front of people. Celebrate that. But learn from your setbacks, because there will be some. Why? because you are moving out of your comfort zone. There are going to be challenges. You've got these programs inside you that are saying, don't do it, get back, right? They're inside you, don't do it, but you got to keep moving forward, because ultimately you've created these programs to keep you safe, right? Hey, if I stay in this little bubble here, I'm safe. But nothing good comes from when you're comfortable, because sometimes you're comfortable, you're just too complacent. And then you start thinking, well, this is my life. This is all it has to be. And the programs go, yeah, this is your life. This is all it has to be. But but I think there's more. Nah, but if you go out there, there's going to be a challenge. But you're going to have setbacks. I used to love, many, many moons ago, I had a really bad habit of smoking. It's funny, I played college sports. I left college football and moved to New York City. And I lived this artist way, just being out there in the entertainment community, just smoking and doing all. I was up at one point, I was up to 2 packs a day. And I remember thinking to myself, I'll quit when things are better, right? But here's the thing. The minute you quit smoking, nothing's good. Your life could be perfect, but the minute you put down that last cigarette and you go 8 hours without one, it's not good. So there's no perfect time. Understand there's going to be setbacks, but understand you're going to be better for them, right? And each time you push through something, what are we doing? We talk about this before. We're building resilience. It makes it easier the next time, okay? See, when we transcend our programming, we're going to unlock the full potential of who we can become. I mean, this transformation, it's not just about achieving more or being more successful. It's just about living a fuller, richer life. It's about breaking free from the constraints of fear, doubt, stepping into our true capabilities, embracing the endless possibilities that lie beyond our comfort zones. By choosing to just be more than we're programmed for, we choose to take control of our destinies. We become active participants in our own lives. We're capable of creating the future we desire. And I'm not sitting there talking about sit on your couch and visualize a $25 million mansion and 17 Ferraris, because you got to do the work. But I'm talking about just not waking up every day, going through the motions and just going to a job you hate, staying in a relationship you hate, staying in a place you hate living in all these places because you feel like you're trapped. It's like you're living in the Matrix and you don't see a way out. But there is a way out. All right. So this journey of growth and self-discovery you need to get on is one of the most profound adventures you can undertake. And it just starts with a single step, the decision to break free, the decision to maybe put down the phone and stop aimlessly scrolling for hours on day just to numb out whatever you're feeling. But figure out ways to use that time or whatever it is you're doing to better yourself. I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, and the thing I always remember that he always said, he says, the only limit to your impact is your imagination and your commitment to things. I mean, let these words, those are brilliant, just inspire you to imagine more for yourself and commit to the journey of becoming more than you were programmed for. Embrace this power. Let it guide you, to a life of greater fulfillment and purpose, so that one that finds you someday, on your deathbed or wherever it is, saying, what, I lived my life, or I did as much as I want. I don't really have many regrets. I think we'll always regret something here and there, but I don't have many. I took chances. I may have succeeded. I may have failed, but you'll always come out better for them. Anytime I think you take a chance, whether it's to express yourself, even it's to somebody you care about, and maybe they don't feel the same way, but you will always be better for it, because, you have to look at it this way, especially with emotion, is that you've experienced love. Maybe it's not reciprocated, but you've experienced it. It's a beautiful emotion, right? Or maybe you went and asked for a promotion at your job, and maybe they don't give it to you right away. But you know what? You've showed some initiative. You've stood up for yourself. And by the way, you're probably on their radar right now, because for the longest time, they both thought, that guy will never ask for a promotion. And suddenly you've now surprised them. And maybe they got to start going, oh, we might lose this guy. He might be looking somewhere else right now. Apparently he needs some more money. Whatever it is, you will always be better for it. But most importantly, you just have to stop existing and you have to start living. And again, living is just a life where you get up, man, I'm like, hey, I'm all right. Yeah, I like what's going on today. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today on this week's episode of the Mike Muldoon podcast. As always, I appreciate you being here. Please, MikeMuldoonLC.com is my website. Please, if you have not yet, just share. Number one, it'd be really great. This is episode 99. maybe at this 99, maybe we could share it with a friend. Maybe just take a moment, copy this link and say, hey, I just listened to this podcast. You might like this. Maybe send it to 2 or 3 people. I think at this point, at 99 episodes, you've seen my commitment to this, my commitment to help people out. Let's maybe just take an opportunity, if you don't mind, just copy this link and randomly send it to a friend. You know somebody out there who might need a little help, a little motivation. Look, I'm not saying I can change everybody's life, but if we can change a couple of people's lives together, that would be great. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, have a safe weekend. And I've got nothing but love for you.